Iryna Zaruska, a 23-year-old female Ukrainian refugee who fled the war in Ukraine to start over in the US. A new life, a safer life, a new chapter, only to be brutally murdered on the 22nd of August by what I would call a psychopath. I don't even want to call him an animal. Animals are better than this disgusting waste of space. I was watching a video of the attack. Iryna was working in a pizzeria. She finished work. She was heading home, completely unaware of the danger that lied behind her. And just like that, brutally attacked. I feel disgusted even just talking about it now, that a man would do such a heinous crime, inflict such harm on a defenseless woman. It's really heartbreaking. It really is. And what's really sad is how very few people bothered to intervene. No, I'm not saying that you should just, with your eyes closed, jump on somebody who is armed with a knife. But what's sad is, from watching that video, she was laying there, bleeding out, for a good couple of minutes, 3 minutes, I think, before anybody even showed up. People just looked at her like she was nothing. That's someone's daughter. It's so sad. We live in a world today where people just watch, and there was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a guy recording her pool of blood as it was making its way down the carriage, or down, I think it was a bus, down the bus, right? Disgusting, the fact that this person thought it was okay. Where is your decency? Your instinct is just to record, to get your phone out and start recording a lifeless body. What happened to men? What happened to quickly rushing over to this woman and trying to do everything in your power to maybe stop the bleeding? Yeah, there was one man, I believe, an individual who came over to try and, hold her and see what happened. So at least I commend that man for, bothering to take a look. I mean, I shouldn't even have to commend. This should be something within us, gentlemen. We shouldn't be okay just looking at that and being like, okay, and then walking away. Especially for those of you that have sisters and a mother. God forbid, what if that was your sister? She lay there. She lays there defenseless on the ground, bleeding out. And people just walk right past her. It's really upsetting, man. This is the world we live in today. And don't get me started on the justice system and how this disgusting waste of oxygen was allowed to leave prison several times. I don't know if he's been arrested now. I sure do hope they grab him and not just throw him in jail, but they do some things, is all I'm saying here. I don't want to get, YouTube to flag this video up. But let's just say he will be attended to accordingly. What a disgusting man. And this speaks to a wider issue. There are a lot of unhinged, emotional men out there. And they are the weakest of men. Men that resort to physical violence against women are the weakest of men. The absolute weakest. They think they're acting out of strength. I am going to impose my will onto you. I am going to get you to do as I please, or whatever, right? There are some disgusting men out there that think that being physically violent gets them what they want. It never does. And men like that have never been punched in the face most of the time. That's the thing. They feel very brave putting their hands on a woman. But the moment a guy lands a punch right in between their eyes, now all of a sudden, it's a different reality for them. And a lot of these guys that end up committing these horrible crimes, they get, they get their payback in prison. Or shall I say, people get their payback on them in prison. All right? They don't have comfortable lives in prison, these guys. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing that they have a very horrible existence where they have to constantly watch over their back. It ruined my mood, honestly, man. Seeing that video, it ruined my mood. And it really upset me. And that's, one example of many thousands of acts of violence against women that are not even documented. That's the sad thing. That there's a lot of attacks on women that aren't even videoed. That happen in side streets, in a car somewhere. Emotional control is such an important thing, gentlemen. To contain your emotions, taking your anger out on a woman just is an absolute pathetic thing to do. You never get what you want through sheer force. You don't. If anything, it cements the other person's decision to not want to be with you. If you have to get what you want out of force, they don't feel comfortable being with you. If you have to resort to violence to get what you want. You have to come to terms with the reality that not every person wants to be with you. And that not every person will change their mind or will forgive you if you cheated and want to be with you or whatever, right? That's life. Actions have consequences. If you did something, for example, to wrong a woman and she doesn't want to be with you anymore, take your L. Learn from that experience and strive to become a better man after that. You can't get her to be with you through sheer violence. If you're angry at your partner or a girl that's in your life and you feel like you need to resort to violence, how in any way is that going to ensure that the relationship going forward remains pleasant? Because, that's the outcome that every person aspires to have in their relationship, right? Or shall I say, not the outcome, but that's the reality that they want. You want a pleasant relationship. No relationship is problem-free, but you want to have a nice, most of the time you want it to be pleasant with the person that you're with. How is getting angry and abusive, either emotionally or physically, going to get you or going to put you in a pleasant relationship going forward? It just ain't. It just ain't. And then there are obviously the psychopaths that just punch random people that have done nothing to them. Those are the ones that should be, in my opinion, taken out. In my opinion. They serve absolutely no purpose on this planet. If you attack a child or a woman unprovoked, you just lunge at them and do something absolutely heinous, you don't deserve to be amongst regular society. Gentlemen, if you see injustice taking place, step in. Do not look from a distance like a coward and not step in. Even if you don't trust your physical capabilities, say something. Don't just stand there like a fucking meerkat looking over. Do something. Yes, in certain situations you may be terrified, but your lack of intervention could cause something far more serious to take place. Somebody could die because of your lack of intervention. You know, there are these social experiments that are often run that I see on YouTube of, for example, they get like a child actor and a man to pretend to like abduct the child and take him down an alleyway, just to film people's reactions and see if anybody gets involved and you know, goes after that man and says, "What are you doing?" He's very clearly coming from behind, grabbing him and just pulling him into an alleyway. And most of the guys just walk past. That's it, and they don't do anything. They don't say anything. They don't even look back. It's crazy, the world we live in today. It really is. And oftentimes people don't think about things like this until they happen to somebody that they love. Until somebody that you love is harmed, oftentimes a lot of guys, they don't care. Sad, they don't care. Anyways, man, I really had to say something because it bothered me. It really did, seeing that. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next one.